What's up guys, and welcome to my channel Flame with a 4. In this video we're going to be doing car parts for stage 83. Also we can have a quick sneak peek at what we've got coming up in the next set of 4 issues. So in this one we're going to be doing, in this stage you'll receive the parts for the window lever mechanism, so the inner door. This car part stage 84, which is the next one, so stay tuned. In that stage you'll receive parts for finishing the left front door and starting the left rear door. And then we're going to have car part stage 85. In this stage you'll receive parts for the left rear door, including locking mechanism and the window. Car part stage 86, in this stage you'll receive decorative parts for the left rear door. So that's so cool. Right, so stage 83 is going to be the window lever mechanism. Let's get on and build that, and we'll be back in just a sec once we've got all the parts out. Right guys, we've got all our pieces out. We've got quite a few screws that comes with this set of issues. So the first thing, I mean, you can kind of just tell how incredible it is just by looking at the door cut, because look at how big the door cut is. It's actually huge. So and it's in really good condition, how it is done with the black, and then you've got the grey at the top there, so it looks really nice. The first thing it's saying, so this is 83A. And what it's asking us to do is take 83B, which is the door handle, and what it wants us to do, follow this grey line along, and then it just pops in to that hole there. And then on the back section, what it wants us to do is to put in this small cog mechanism around the handle. So I'm guessing the windows are going to work, which is going to be absolutely insane with the windy handle, so that's going to be really cool. You need to take a KM screw, so we'll just go grab one of those KM screw. And remember guys, this is a mechanism that needs to work, so you want to be careful not to do these up so tight that you can't actually move the cogs around and such. And when this is all inside the door, you won't be able to get to this, so you just want to be careful, okay? Right, so there you go. So that's the handle in place. So as you can see, you can actually spin the handle around, and on the inside you can see the cog moving, which is exactly what you want. You want the cog to be moving and not coming off there or moving out of place. So that's that. So the next thing it's asking us to do on the inside here again, it wants us to put these 2 bigger cogs in place. So we need to take 83D, which is the smaller cog, which says L1 on it. So just put that in place and make sure that lines up. And then on top of that, you need to put 83E, but it wants us to put an HP screw in to hold that first one in place. So we'll just go ahead and do that now. So we just need an HP screw to hold that cog down. So make sure we get it in level. Probably better to hold it as you do it up. Remember, don't over tighten this. That needs to spin. So loosen that off a little bit. Just enough until it moves. So there you go. So the next one is 83E, which is this one with the 2 little top nibs on there. So you want to make sure that that sits down on top of here on this next cog, and then it lines up into that one. That's held in with an up screw, UP screw. So let's go take one of those, pop that in the top there, start doing that up. Probably best to hold it so you don't push down on that handle on the other side, and do that up nicely. Again, just get to a certain point and do it tight, then maybe undo it like 1 full turn, and then see how that feels. And then when you turn the handle, you want to see that mechanism working. And if it's slipping and not working properly, then there's an issue. If it's not, and it moves nicely, then you know you're on a winner, which is good. It's not slipping at all, so we're all good. So we need to move on to the next bit. I'm getting attached all these pieces. Right, so we need to now fit 83G, and we also need to fit 83H. So 83G is this section here, and then that goes on just at the top there in place, but there isn't actually anything to hold that in with. It just kind of just sits there by the looks of it. It goes in that one there, so it sort of just pushes in. And then we have 83H, which sits further down, and that is held in by an EP screw from the inside. So we'll just quickly grab a small EP screw to do that. Attach that on the inside. That would be more like a pull handle. Obviously it's not going to do what it should do. I'm just going to loosen it a tiny bit. There we go. Because it's just for show, isn't it? So, right, now that that's done, I'll show you what it looks like up close real quick. So it looks like that, and then on the inside it looks like that. It is a bit warped, but it should be fine when it's attached to the door itself. Right, so the next thing it's asking us to do is take 83J and 83I, and then what we need to do is we just need to connect those together, like so. They just push in by the looks of things, which can't be that difficult, I wouldn't have thought. That have been wrong before. There we go, so they just push together like that. And then they will go, one will sit into a little recess and then one will go into there. And then on the inside, an EP screw will hold that in place. So let's grab a little EP screw. So that's in place like that. And then that's the handle. So the handle's just sitting there. And as you can see on the inside here, that's the EP screw that holds it in place. And that's actually building up really nicely now for the inside. Right, so what we need to do is we just need to go grab some bits from a previous issue so we can continue the build. But for now, there are two little tiny strips that we can put on. So they just go on and they just sit on the top of there. So I'm just going to peel those and put those on, and we'll be back in just a sec. So once you've fitted the door handle on there like that, and that's in place, what we can do just to help these mechanisms here, because as you can see, when they wind, they go around nicely, but what we want to do is just want to add something to it just to help that mechanism a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to grab some Vaseline, just a little bit of Vaseline and a cotton bud. You can use some grease and just like all general purpose grease if you want to, and just wipe these just sort of like in where the cogs will meet, around the cog edges, because it's just going to help when it's spinning around, just to keep it lubricated so that it's not so much of a chore to do it. So I'm just going to put it around the edges, and this is all going to be inside the door so you won't see it anyway. I might need to tighten that up just a little bit more, you know. So it does seem a little bit loose on there when it shouldn't be. So we'll have a look at that in a second. We'll leave that in there. Pop that out of the way. Let's get the trusty screwdriver. Just do that up. There we go. Right, so what we're going to do is just, there you go, so just, it works it around so much easier, it feels so much nicer already. So when you're spinning it around, you can kind of feel and get the gist that the cogs want to move around and that they're not struggling now, because the Vaseline is keeping it nice and lubricated, helping it go. So there you go. So what I'm going to do now is just going to leave it like that for seconds, just keep it there. What you need to do, you need to go and grab the door. So we did the Mike Lane mod on the door, so that looks incredible. And as you can see here, it's empty inside. We're going to be laying it down on the decal, so what we want to do is we're just going to go grab just some kitchen roll or something just to put it down, just to help stop any scratching and stuff like that. So just to save it scratching away the decal that we just put on in the last one. So because we did the rub-on transfer. What it's saying for us to do though, guys, it wants us to take this section here, which is 83F, and then we need to grab a UP screw, which is just there, and we need to take the glass from one of the other issues here, and it's saying that with the L facing in this corner, in this bottom left hand corner there, we need to put that raised section at the top here in that hole. I don't know if you can see that there, but it's going to go in that hole so it moves backwards and forwards like that. And then we need to screw that into place. So what I'm going to do is just going to lay that on there into position, take the screw, put that in there, and then kind of hold it all in place and then do it up. Don't need to go mental because we will want that to move in there if possible. Feels fine. And then what we need to do now is we need to install this onto the mechanism on here. So we'll just move the door out of the way again for a little bit more, and then this is going to go this way round, and then we need to make sure that these are in line. So all we need to do is spin that round until they are in line. And what I mean by in line is, I mean these two here need to be at a diagonal so that we can see where they go. And then the glass, you want to make sure that the glass's top edge is sitting against there. So you want it so that the screw is on the inside, and then that will need to sit over the top of this, and then that will have to screw into place over here. So it's a bit fiddly, but we'll get there, it's fine. So they will just sit over the top of there, and then holding those on will be two IP screws. So what I'm going to do is get an IP screw ready to go, so that we know that we've got one ready to go. And I'm just going to hover that over the top of there, just in place first. And there is a hole cut out, so you can do that other screw up if need be. So if you need to do up that cog a little bit more and it's come loose, they have actually put a hole in there so that you can do that, and I will bring that over and show you that in just a second. So just put that down into place. Don't want to over tighten it, but don't want to have it too loose either. So I'm just going to bring it over and show you. It's not done, but I'm just going to bring it over and show you. So as you can see here on the mechanism, there are two screws on that mechanism there, but there is also a hole cut out in the middle of that so that you could do up that cog if need be. So that is there for that. Right, so now that that is in position, what we need to do now is we just need to kind of just push this down a bit until it sits where it wants to go, which could be like that. And just make sure you're happy with all your screws, because these are going to be now on the inside and you won't be able to get to them. So if you want to tighten them up or make any adjustments, you know, probably best to do that now. There we go. Happy with that. Just make sure that when I turn the handle, the mechanism moves. I know it's not going to move much now, but yeah, it moves absolutely fine. There we go. Right, so I'm happy with that. So that's just going to sit there for a minute. Just going to move this magazine over here. It's saying for us to grab the door, and then what we need to do now is we need to pop this door card onto the door and then make sure that the window is in this channel underneath here as it goes up. So I'm not sure how hard it's going to be, but we can see when we do it. So you know that you've got your protection rubbers on there, which is fine. This is just going to go up and over, and then just bam, just like that. Absolutely perfect. Right, so there are some DM screws holding this all into place, which we are going to go grab and put in. So we've got 2 DM screws here and 2 DM screws there, so 4 in total. Going to go grab those, pop those in, guys, and then we'll show you it once we've done that. So we'll be back in just a second. Right guys, once you have those screws in place, they are the DM screws. So there are actually 3 DM screws and 1 IP screw. So don't put 4 in, you need to put an IP screw in. So DM screw is going to be, the DM screw is going to be here. And then also DM screw here. And then there's a DM screw there, but up here is an IP screw. So make sure you put the IP screw in and not a DM screw, because that's what goes up there. So once you've got those into place, you will have a complete door card on the door that looks like that. Look how cool that is. To make sure that everything's in line, so you want to make sure that this window is in the runner, you want to just wind it up slowly and then your window should go up. Just like that. And then when you wind the window, you can wind the window down. Ooh. Come into contact with that other one. All the way down and then back up again. It goes up really well actually, to be fair. It's really cool. And then once it's up, it's up. So there you go. That's fitting the part on there, so that's really cool. So we'll just see what else and if there's anything else we need to do. So this is stage 83. This is what the assembled piece should look like. It looks exactly like that, so that's perfect. We'll leave that on that piece of tissue there. Make sure that our model stays safe. And then in the next issue, we're going to be doing stage 84, finishing the left front door. So we're going to have a few things to finish on it, and it looks like we'll possibly get to fit it to the vehicle as well. So that's going to be really exciting. Can't wait to do that with you guys. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Please remember to subscribe just by clicking the button just down here and setting the bell so you don't miss out on any more videos that are up and coming. And I'll see you again real soon, guys. Take care now. Bye-bye.